What up? I'm live. I'm live. I'm live on both. It's even weirder because as I'm live on right now on YouTube, I'm live on Instagram. So I'm going to be talking on both sides. So if you want to watch this on Instagram and you're on YouTube, or if you're on YouTube and you want to watch this on Instagram, just flip it all over. I'm going to do a little pre-full moon talk. You know, the full moon isn't really starting till Sunday, and really it's Monday, right? So, you know, but there's something to say about you can start to feel the energy of this full moon pretty intensely, which to me, it's a positive full moon. We've got a lot of positive aspects that are going on. I'd say that one of the biggest things that are going on right now is Jupiter is out of shadow, and Jupiter has also in sidereal arrived into Sag. So we're in like true, it doesn't matter what system you use, there's no debate, Jupiter's in Sagittarius, okay? And some sign. We just finished the Saturn-Neptune sextile. It's still actually in sextile, but the actual hit had finished Friday. Now Saturn is passing through the very slow Neptune station. Because remember, Neptune is coming direct on the 27th. Thanks for that tip, that 100, dog. I always appreciate you. Always appreciate you. But, you know, this is where there's a Mercury retrograde in Scorpio, and the Kazini is happening, well, basically Sunday night at 18, 17 degrees of Scorpio, where the full moon's going to be happening. So it's going to be a Mercury retrograde with the full moon. Interesting, right? We're going to have this moon in opposition to a Mercury retrograde. That'll be kind of weird, but it is not the worst thing in the world. But I really want to get to the Saturn-Neptune thing first, because I think that's extremely important. One, these are dignified positions, right? So they're dignified aspects. When you have Saturn in its home sign, then you get this Neptune in its home sign. Very rare for them to come into alignment. Super, super rare. And I all year I was saying 2019, like, this is such an amazing alignment, you know? And even Leo has aligned perfectly into my view. So perfect alignment. And you came right at the perfect time to just get into everyone's face, you know? You guys think I like attention as a Leo? Oh my God, imagine having a Leo cat named the Leo Prince and is a Leo too. Oh man. And he's got Saturn and Scorpio like me. Like, you know, it's just like, he's like my little mini me, you know, like true mini me. But really it is a calling, you know, in tarot, which I did pull out my golden tarot actually. Let's find the Judgment card here. Now, the Judgment card is different in every deck, of course. Here we are. So, in Golden Tarot, of course, it's very Renaissance Italian art. I love Italian art the most. Show you Instagrammers. There's a calling. It's a judgment call. So sometimes, you know, judgment from God is always like this really high, you know, thing that kind of comes up, right? With judgment. Saturn, Neptune sextile is definitely a calling, like judgment. Like, are you going to rise up to the occasion? In this case, it's Jesus in the Golden Tarot, right? Rising up, the angels, trumpets. You see that in the original Rider-Waite, okay? Now, what is the significance of this? Well, I feel that in the original Rider-Waite, you know, there's these gray bodies of humans that are rising up out of coffins. And I think that it's really interesting to see that the trumpet call, it's that Neptunian higher calling mixed with Saturn and Capricorn of duty, of purpose, and authenticity that's in alignment with the best and the highest good. You know? Yeah, some people are moving over to my YouTube because the camera angle is better. But it doesn't matter. I don't mind. I can look at both chats. But I think that this full moon happening with the pass of Uranus. Now, this is the first full moon in Taurus with Uranus in Taurus. Because last year, the full moon, okay, so what happened last year was we had the Venus retrograde, and it was very interesting because the new, well, actually, you know what? We might have had a full moon with Uranus in Taurus. Let me look real quick. Because Uranus went back into Aries during the new moon in Scorpio last year. So we didn't have a new moon in Scorpio with Uranus. So let me just do my math. I want to be right. It is Mercury fucking retrograde, right, everyone? Like, it's like, we don't want to... I'm really good at doing this math in my head, but there's something to say about just getting our data correct. So Uranus, oh, you know what? Full moon was right at 0. Okay, so then that means we might have had that full moon. The full moon in Taurus. We did have a full moon on Uranus and Taurus last year, and it happened on October 24th of 2018. So, this is our second one. But this time, with Taurus, we've had a new moon in Scorpio. So this is really weird. This is where I'm going to get really fucking deep astrology with you all, okay? Think about this one. We're gonna throw some curveballs your way, because Uranus likes to throw curveballs, but I love getting some weird astrology out there to people, okay? 1. The full moon happens on October 24th of 2018 last year, this time with a Venus retrograde, by the way, okay, in Scorpio. And that Venus was getting ready to move into Libra, with the nodes all shifting as well. Remember that last year around this November time was when the nodes shifted out of Leo and Aquarius and went into Cancer and Capricorn. So we were in a major shift in a Venus retrograde last year. What was interesting, full moon in Taurus, new moon that was building up to that new moon in Taurus, because it was a new moon in Libra. Then the sun came right into Scorpio, and then there was a moon in Taurus, okay, full moon. Then as the full moon was waning and coming to build the first new moon in Scorpio of 2018, and the only one, Uranus retrograded back into Aries. So the new moon was not in opposition to Uranus and Taurus, and Uranus was in Aries with a new moon in Scorpio. This is the first time in our lives we're going to have the full set. 2 weeks ago was the new moon in Scorpio with Uranus and Taurus, the first one we had since the 1930s. Now, it's an actual, you have to think about how the sun and the moon play, right? So we weren't able to actually fully see that full moon energy in Taurus with a new moon in Scorpio energy to build it up. This is a new moon in Scorpio that we had 2 weeks ago that built up to a full moon in Taurus. The last full moon in Taurus was built up from a new moon in Libra. Way different energies. Okay? And we've never seen this, unless you were born in the 30s or prior. Most of the people on my channel, believe it or not, I do have a 65 and older crowd. So thank you all for being here. I love you all very much. I wish I had like a cool AARP card or something for everyone. But I only say that because my parents are not 65 yet, but I think AARP is 55 now, I forgot. So somebody just asked, what does this all mean? Well, 1, we did not really feel the weight of Scorpio and Taurus fully in the full moon and the new moon cycle last year. The reason why was because it was dealing with Chiron, that was retrograding back into Pisces, and retrograding in Pisces, okay? So it was about completions of transits during the new and full moon cycles of Scorpio and Taurus during the fall of last year. And Venus was retrograde, dealing with a nodal transit that was shifting of an 18-year cycle. Then it was an 8-year cycle of Venus retrograde finishing from the Scorpio one prior. Okay? This is about the completion of those things and moving us into forward energy. If you look at your life in October, November of last year, and you look at the new moon energy and the full moon energy, you did not move forward, okay? You did not. You had to complete something. There was something that was like, I have to complete it, okay? Now, Chiron's in Aries, won't come back into Pisces. Uranus is in Taurus, will not go back in Aries, we know that. And this was an actual full moon in Taurus that is building, that is from a new moon waning cycle that was in Scorpio. So it's a true full moon in Taurus with Uranus there. So, what does it mean? One, this is about your life and how it's going to move forward and what you're going to manifest. Two, we have Mars and Jupiter, which are making a sextile during the transit. Why is that important? Jupiter's in dignified energy. It's in its home sign. Mars is weak right now. It's in detriment. So it's in Libra. And this gives Mars some power because Mars right now is pretty weak. It's been brutally hit by a transit that it hasn't had to come into since 500 years ago. Mars last year never went into Libra. Now last year Saturn came into Capricorn. Well, it was December 2017, but Mars was not there, okay? So Mars did not square Saturn in Capricorn last year, or during this whole time we've had Saturn in Capricorn in its home sign. Mars just came out of squaring Pluto, just came out of squaring Saturn, and they're only within a couple degrees. So Mars had to square the Saturn-Pluto conjunction in Libra. Mars will not square the Saturn and Libra conjunction in Libra in a weaker spot for hundreds of years, okay? Because it's going to take 2 years for Mars to come back to this position, and in 2 years we're done with the whole Pluto-Saturn conjunction. So Mars is getting some energy from Jupiter to be like, hey, let's go to the future. Let's find the harmony. Let's find the peace. Let's make these beautiful dreams happen. There's not much time. As you look at the cycle, Jupiter's going to leave Sagittarius and come into Capricorn literally the first day of December. That's the last day of Jupiter and Sag. And then December 2nd, it's just like plop, Jupiter's in Capricorn. So, and you got to remember Mars is getting ready to come into Scorpio. All right? Now that's a good thing, but with all the Capricorn energy and not a lot of Sag energy left, and adding all the Malefics in very powerful positions and putting the Benefics in weak positions, because as Jupiter leaves Sag, Venus will have been in Capricorn, not the best place for Venus. So all the Benefics are in Saturn's world, and all the Malefics are at full power. Pluto is technically, it's very it likes Capricorn. It doesn't mind it there. And Mars and Pluto will be making sextiles, so there'll be not a mutual reception, since Mars, even though it's exalted in Capricorn, it would rather be in Scorpio. So Pluto's a little bit like, oh man, I wish I could be at home in Scorpio, but I guess my true other part of myself is. So what I'm here to say is that this is the benefic time in your life. Now, this full moon in Taurus is reminding you of a beautiful world, that there are nice things. The world is not all dark. And a Mercury retrograde in Scorpio, in opposition to this moon, so we're not having a Venus retrograde like last year. It's a Mercury retrograde. And, it's covering this 17, 18 degree spot. A lot of shit happened during that time when Saturn was there, 2013, 2014. I know, because I have Mars in Scorpio at 18 degrees. But this is a time where this full moon is really trying to find the beautiful side of life and what you can have and what is in discernment at its highest order because of the closure of the Saturn-Pluto waning conjunction that's coming up, because Saturn and Pluto, last time they conjuncted was in 1983. So, there's this closing 1983 cycle going on. That was in Libra. Here's Mars. I want a beautiful life, right? I want beautiful connections, whether that's even partnerships too. Venus is in Sag during this full moon. And right, what is a full moon in Taurus? Well, it's more powerful because the North Node's in Cancer. So the last full moon in Taurus squared the nodes in Leo and Aquarius, right? And it was the Sun with the North Node, Rahu in Leo. That was much more to pay attention to, and that was going through a Cassini, a Venus retrograde, so it was in Scorpio, not a very powerful place. And the moon, even though it was exalted in Taurus, had the opposition to the Sun with Venus retrograde, with Venus in its weaker position, its detriment, and then you had the moon conjunct Uranus in its fall position. It was just not a very it was almost like we were all like playing pretend or playing with things that came with batteries but were not replaceable, where this is where there's actual manifesting juice, there's actually true power in these things that we can have in our lives. We can actually have and set up a little bit like chess, like the best life that we really want to have in our life, and actually make it something beautiful and something great. So I feel that but it's a judgment call. Are you going to rise up to it? To a higher calling in your life, a higher order? And Taurus is, and I think that, I say this a lot about the spiritual community, like people have money consciousness issues. Like, really, money is like, it's just fucking money, right? Right? Just money. Like, don't take money like so seriously in life. I agree. But Taurus to me doesn't represent money as much as it represents the quality of like remembering like this world has a beautiful side and then it has a darker side, right? Like, look at the skin on my human body, right? Like, I'm covering up my blood vessels. I'm covering up. You probably wouldn't want to see me if I ripped off my face and started talking with my skull, it's ironic that Scorpio rules skulls, right? So there's something about Taurus that's like, I kind of want things to feel nice. You know what I mean? Like, we use, for example, like I'm on my couch, I got some lights, like, it's like comfortable, like, it's like, I don't know, it's like some pretty shit, you know what I mean? Like some gold and some whites. Like this is very Taurus, and then like, this is very like Scorpio, right? Like, okay, like fucking all-seeing eye, like fucking, even though a little bit of Taurus in that, if you think about it. But we didn't get to really see these contrasts last year fully. And fear comes up during this time. The fear of actually having a better life, where you'd start coming in denial with Mercury retrograde in Scorpio, like there's no fucking way. Or Mercury in Scorpio can start just looking at all the negative stuff that we don't need to really look at anymore. Like, this is a time for us to see this amazing, beautiful world that we can manifest. And Mars sextile Jupiter is saying, like, let's look for the beautiful things. Let's focus on the beautiful things. But the discernment is with Saturn and Pluto. A big reminder to people, like, especially since this full moon trines over to Pluto and the sun sextiles Pluto, right? So it's a major transformational experience into your alignment of your true destiny and your true decision making, and a test, since Pluto is in the last decan for this whole rest of the transit. It's no longer going to go into 2 decans back. It's not going to even, we're in the highest part of Capricorn now. And this is the highest part of Capricorn, is where you execute the decisions and you stay on those decisions and you take your inner authority. So you have to take your inner authority now in your life about what is best for my life, what is the best things that I could have, and no longer I'm going to do what I don't want to do. And I think that the only question that's negative, that's difficult to deal with, is Mercury retrograde in Scorpio, of like, well, maybe I don't like the way things are, but maybe I just need to speak up or just deal with some of the small clutter about it and test the validity and the weight and the worth of that. Because Mercury in Scorpio is very confused right now, because it's covering over zones that it hasn't had to cover for a long time, where Saturn was at the beginning of this decade, or middle of this decade. It's dealing with, a full moon in opposition to it. And I think what it's saying is, like, we have to pay attention to the moon's exalted position. So a full moon in Taurus, the reason why the moon is like exalted in Taurus, and why the moon likes Taurus the best, sure, it likes Cancer, of course, that's dignified. But the reason why it likes Taurus so much is because in a world of where dark comes, like right now I'm doing this at night, there's something nice about living in a nice house. There's something nice about having comfort. There's something nice about wearing the clothes that you want that keep you warm. It's nice to feel good when you have money in your pocket so you can go buy something. Or in the old days, it was just maybe the tool that you needed to grind some rock down to create, I don't know, a bowl. You know what I mean? Like, when you have what you need to just do things that make you feel better. And this is where there's a deep hole. Scorpio creates a vacuum of fulfillment that's needed in our deeper desires and our deeper needs. And Taurus is here to ask, like, well, do you have it or not? It's like, there's no point in obsessing over anything that you don't have. One is a good lesson about moon in Taurus and a full moon in Taurus. No point. If you don't have it, why are you thinking about it so much? Or if it hasn't happened to you yet, why are you tripping out about it? Full moon in Taurus only, or any moon in Taurus, I have the moon there. Any moon in Taurus only trips out about what is actually happening to the physical positions or to things that you value. That's what will trigger the emotion hard. I always use this analogy. I'll switch this one up though. If I see a car accident on the freeway, because I live here in LA and I'm on the freeway all the time, and the police are there and people are taking care of it, and I see help, I say my prayer and I move on. I'm not one of the people that's going to pull over the side of the road and just be like, you guys need any more help or anything? Like, that's being handled. I got to take care of, let me just keep going in my own lane. Like, and that sounds like fucked up, but it's different. It's like, if I see somebody alone and they're waving like, help, help, help. It's like, okay, this is where there's some value of the emotional need of taking care of somebody or taking care of something or dealing with it. Even if I have a more valuable situation in my head I thought that I had, no, the moon in Taurus will be like, no, this is more valuable to life and bringing goodness and quality and security and beauty back to the world, right? That's more important than, let's say, running to, I'm going to miss this show, or I'm going to miss this, be late to work or something, right? It's like the quality of life and the goodness of life and the beauty and the essence of life is the most important. But it's also weighed out. So if, let's say somebody, it happens to me a lot, right? People fuck up in life. I fuck up all the time too. Sometimes I'll miss an email. Sometimes I'll be late for something. Sometimes, right? But like if somebody fucks up something on me, like let's say they fuck up my order, or they're handing me my change and it falls at a drive-thru, I don't get weird. I laugh with them. I go, don't even worry about it, right? Like, no worries. Full moon in Taurus is about not crying over spilled milk. It's the best old school analogy I can use, because if you're crying over spilled milk, the reason why the moon in Cancer is great and dignified, but every exalted position seems to be another place where the planet or the illuminary that rules that place does its best there and has a meaning for it. So a good example is like, sure, the sun is dignified in Leo, but it can get over dramatized. So in Aries, it's exalted because it's just about like, hey, let's start fresh, let's start new, and just come on, just get through it. Like, let's move through this, right? Where Leo fixates on it too much and gets all like, oh my God, or just like, I'll put all this energy out into something. The moon in Cancer is great and to feel comfortable, but it gets too comfortable sometimes. Oh my God, like I can't get out of bed anymore. I can't just stop crying about this situation. The moon in Taurus like goes, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Are you really crying over this spilled milk? Are you really crying over these keys that just fell? And then you bent over and your pants broke? Like, yeah, that'll frustrate a moon in Taurus, but a moon in Taurus at the same time is like, God, thank God that's all it is. It's not like I'm having to deal with some other heavier situation. So really, this full moon in Taurus about getting alignment within your life that's coming up here is, are you focusing your energy and your manifesting energy, and are you losing your emotions, and are you losing yourself to issues and situations that have zero to little weight or aren't even in your life? Period. And if they're not in your life and you want them, it's about focusing on what is it in your alignment? Is it in God's calling? Or are you blurred to that because Neptune is going to be in this full moon? Sure, it'll be a 4-degree orb, 3 to 4, but it's in there too, and it's shading over and putting like, projection elements about things that maybe, really, like, should I have a projection on this sort of way or not? Well, I don't know. That's where it's like, does it feel like it's in alignment with God? Does it feel like you're being called up? And the energies that you're choosing with Mars and Jupiter. You gotta remember that Mars and Jupiter are a rocket ship, and Jupiter is giving Mars and Libra power that it hasn't had in a long time. I mean, 2007, 12-year cycle, yeah. Mars was in Libra, sextile Jupiter, I bet. Let's see when it would have happened last in 2007. Bear with me one moment, please, everybody. I just am doing my math in my head, and I don't want to think too much at the moment. Jupiter, 18, Mars, Cancer. I don't know if we did. I don't know if we had any Mars in Libra with Jupiter and Sag. So we did not. Because Jupiter came in to Sag. Jupiter came into Sag. All right. Right on November 23rd. Oh, hold on. Yeah, November 23rd of 2006. Okay. Into the 24th. So maybe y'all can see that, but I'll show Instagram in a second. I'm showing YouTube first. There's 404 people on YouTube and 94, so I'm going with the weight of value. You could see the sun, and you could see here's Mars in Scorpio. So no, we did not see Mars in Libra and Jupiter in Sagittarius 12 years ago. This is a rare one, folks. And how ironic that this Mars-Jupiter sextile is happening at the exact moment of a full moon with Uranus and Taurus, with the first, as I said at the beginning of this, some people are joining live now, that this is a very rare full moon, and the fact that it's the first full moon that's built off a Scorpio new moon with Uranus and Taurus. And that Scorpio new moon was in exact opposition at 4 degrees 2 weeks ago. So you think your life has gone crazy in the last couple weeks? You haven't even begun to see once this full moon activates with Mars and Jupiter in sextile, it activates the next 2 weeks to complete destiny of your life. Jupiter comes to the galactic center point as well during this full moon. And the next 2 weeks are the end of Jupiter in Sagittarius. So you better fucking use it the best way you can. It's about 3 weeks. And with Uranus, it's going to be about a bunch of people are going to be picking, it's like a turnstile, just all these multi-dimensional highways of like finding everybody's best path before they enter into the malefic, I'll call it the malefic portal. Because the benefics will be 3 weeks from now, all moving into malefic energies, okay? Like all the malefics, like Mars will be in Scorpio, fucking Jupiter will be in Capricorn, Saturn will be in Capricorn, Pluto will be in Capricorn. Those are the malefics. They're malefic energies, and they're in their dignified positions. Mars is dignified at home in Scorpio. Saturn is at home in Capricorn. Pluto is on top of Saturn, activating even stronger that Sagittarian energy. And we are going to go into a zone going into December of a very, very intense, lower vibrational, not benefic, folks, malefic, which is going to bring challenges. So you want to use this moment on this full moon that's coming up here. What did somebody say about it? David made good eye contact. The powerful flash of the ball. I don't know. I'm trying to connect with Instagram. I'm trying to connect with YouTube. I just thought I'd throw both up, you know? But this is gnarly, folks. Like, anything can happen. So, anything can fucking happen. For real. And anything that feels the best for your life. One thing about a new moon in Scorpio opposed to Uranus and Taurus is who gives a flying fuck about what people think. I'm going to be honest with you. About the path that you choose that's best for your life and your happiness. You have to go that direction. You know? Wow. YouTube just not giving me the love tonight, telling me that I need to be lighter. Seems like Instagram's cool with me being... I thought I'd been pretty positive tonight. You know? I would like to know. If you guys think this... I'm not trying to be positive about this full moon. Like, let me know. But, like, obviously, people are telling me that, you know... And then somebody's telling me I look like a queen. All right. I don't know where that fucking comes from. Fucking weirdos. But this is where you don't have to give a fuck about what people say, honestly, because Uranus is in opposition to the new moon 2 weeks ago prior to this full moon that's happening on Monday. If you get caught up into worrying so much about all these things, right? Mercury retrograde in opposition to the full moon, and you get all fucked up by that, like, oh my God, like and Mercury retrograde in Scorpio starts to bring you into the weirdest thoughts about fears of your death, weird shit about you're gonna die, and Saturn and Capricorn and Pluto already feel like you're dying. The two rulers of death coming together, Mercury retrograde in the sign of death, the sun's in the sign of death. This full moon in Taurus is reminding you that there's fucking life. Uranus and Taurus and the moon in Taurus are saying there's fucking life. Find it. Jupiter and Mars in their fucking alignment that I just showed you all did not happen with Jupiter and Sagittarius fucking 12 years ago. So that means that it has been 24 years at least, and I would have to look, and I'm having to do the math in my head, that Mars and Jupiter met in Libra with Mars and Jupiter. We have not seen in 24 years at least, Mars in Libra, defining your life and the relationships you're picking and the beauty you can bring. Venus is the ruler of Taurus and of Libra, and Venus is in Sagittarius with Jupiter. Both the benefic energies are in benefic sign, and the full moon is in a benefic place for being a Venus-ruled house, and the moon's exalted there. This is where you all have to wake the fuck up and stop getting into all of the darkness, all of the fear, all of these things that you are wasting your time on, and move into fucking heaven. For real. That you choose heaven or not. And this is where you have to use Uranus and Taurus, which is saying that you have to make a quantum leap into heaven. You just can't just like make a choice only. You have to make a choice of going into something that is advancing you into new ways to use your skills, use your self-worth, use money, all these things in a new way that you've never done before. You've never tried these skills out. You've never felt this energy before. You've never gone this direction. Any direction you've gone in back before, that's not gonna work. Including myself. We're making major changes with High Vibe. And I'm making major changes in my business model. I'm making major changes in my life. I'm making major changes in how I do things. And when Jupiter was here last time, gosh, man, I got back with the next girlfriend and moved in with her. It was like, and I thought it was going to be great. And it had that Jupiterian, like, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. It was funny. Today I was on Instagram and in Instagram stories, and there was an ad that blew my mind. And I'm wondering if I could pop it back up. And this ad was all about fucking, like, being, like, basically, like, getting into relationships with exes. Like, they will teach you how to get your ex back. And I was like, what the fuck? Teach you how to get back with your fucking ex? Are you fucking kidding me? During this time? They're tapping into the dark energies that are actually making people really believe that they think going back to an ex is going to save the fucking day. That is fucking ludicrous. 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 Not the fucking rapper. Ludicrous. I gotta find this motherfucker because this shit was blowing my mind. But it's fucking crazy. Because this is all about new and expanding, and you're not going to see much more expansion off of choices that you make now during this time. That this next 3 weeks, there is not a lot of time. And this full moon is where it's strong because it's waxing. And a waxing full moon gives you the power to truly step into it. But if you're going to wait And if you think that this whole thing can just out of nowhere just show like, oh, I just am gonna fuck, you know what? Fuck the Leo King. Fuck all what everybody's saying and use the opposite form of Sun Uranus, which is not using higher intellect at all to your soul and accepting a unique approach and a more forward movement life. This is not about clearing old energies and like just going to play the same fucking game again and believing that by changing it up, you can somehow create a new story with all this karmic energy. I can't find the fucking story, but it's out there right now, and I just literally lost it. I looked at that thing today and I said, you gotta be fucking kidding me. It gave like things like, give your ex time. Like it was like on the ad, like give your ex some time. Have a conversation with them. Make sure you apologize over what was said. Like, what? You saw it? You know what I'm talking about? What the fuck? Somebody's using some fucking astrology or somebody's just tapped into some dark fucking energy that's gonna hold people from the fucking revolution of the highest order of the spiritual highest order of all fucking time. And people stepping into beautiful stories. There is no beautiful stories about going into the past right now. None. It is Neptune, retrograde, stationary, stopped over the time in which this Jupiter shit is finishing. It is also at the same time that Mercury is retrograde, and of course that finishes on the 21st and 20th, and fucking that only gives people 10 days. 10 days. That's it. You only get 10 days of Jupiter with Venus and Jupiter conjunct with the new moon in Sag that comes right after Mercury comes out of retrograde. And then that's it, folks. Like, fuck, it sounds like Looney Tunes. It is Looney fucking Tunes, by the way. And then Mars moves into Scorpio. Fucking, and Jupiter enters into Capricorn. Sorry. I don't know what to tell people. Like, you know what? And Lilith has been all over Neptune. People obsessing with the past. Oh my God, the past. Let me do a line of the past. Let me remember what it was like in the past. I just want to be in the past. Even if it's not an X, it might be the way that your life once was. You got to pay attention to what is it that inside you are dealing with right now in your life that you're going, I wish it could just be the way that it was. There's a problem. That means you have a problem about a situation there. And if that situation's a relationship, you have relationship issues. If that thing is a career thing, oh, I wish I had my job from the past. You have a career issue. If it's your health, you've got a health issue that's dealing with something about stress and worry. That's always what health comes down to, stress and worry. Or if it's going to be a friendship problem, yeah, you don't know how to get along with people too fucking well, and you just wish that it was like the way it was with your friends when you used to go out. Yeah. You have a social issue. So wherever you're fucking doing this about the past, that's where your issue is. Oh, I wish it would just be this way back how it was. Well, I'm here to tell you that we've never had a full moon in Taurus built off a new moon in Scorpio, like the true new moon in Scorpio to a full moon in Taurus with Uranus in Taurus in our lives for those born after the 1930s. So, you've never had this much weight, which is actually not weight. This is about releasing Uranus, right? Stepping into a higher realm of higher quality. I'll use a good example. In my life, when it comes to manifesting, I'm sure you all know I've known how to manifest pretty damn fucking good for being a fucking astrologer. And some people get triggered by that shit, and some people, whatever. Like, daddy knows how to make some money. You know what I mean? I've had really good years. These last couple years haven't been the same as it was, but it's because building high vibe. And I don't care because I actually am proud of what's going on there. And it's cool to have a fucking studio. But I will say that when Papa fucking has made that coin, whenever I wanted to make more coin, I told the universe, like, I'm not afraid. I'm going to go buy the next highest thing up. And I'm not going to be afraid of stepping up to the higher tier of my self-worth. I don't care if the payment's higher, even though I make enough money for it. There's always that fear of signing that paper. Like, I'm going to commit to paying more a month on this. I'm going to commit to paying more on this new place I'm moving into. I'm going to commit to this. I'm going to commit to that. And oh my God, am I going to be able to handle all that shit? But when I do that motherfucking shit, every time my money and career advances, now I'm getting all Frank Underwood. Because it's like, you've got to step into higher realms of manifesting by throwing yourself into the unknown of your manifesting ability of knowing you got that motherfucker and that the universe will show up when you show the universe that you can handle that shit. But when you have doubts with Mercury and retrograde and Scorpio, like, no, I can't receive that in my life. I don't have the power for that. I'm going to move out of California because it's too expensive. That's just you feeding your, I can't have it. I can't have a better life. I can't have a better life. I can't have a better job. I can't have a better relationship. I can't have a better life in any place. Because you're too afraid to fucking own your value, own your power, and fucking manifest the best life that fucking, this is the doorway. I'm telling you folks, this is it. I've been screaming it, and I will scream, and I don't give a fuck how many people in this whole astrology community, in the spiritual community, think I'm a fucking nutso. It's usually the people that are screaming the truth that are fucking the ones that are looked at as nutsos, and it's always the nutsos that are fucking right. Let's be honest. This is definitely not a time for you to literally waste your life on continuing the same path you're on at this moment as we're talking. It's not going to work. You know it. You know you have to you have to open a new door. You have to open a new door. If you do not open a new door, this is what you'll be trapped in and stuck in. And I know that you all don't want to be in that. I know that in my heart. I know that when I'm connecting with you. I'm connecting with both sides right now. I know that 100%. Because I know I feel that in my life too. I know that in the astrology. And I know that because when that Saturn-Neptune sextile that's happened, Friday and Saturday here and finishing, and the sun just, made aspects to it, and the full moon's going to make aspects to it as well, and the full moon's going to be aspecting Pluto exactly of change. So that full moon's at 18, 19. Pluto's at 20. But Pluto comes to 21, and it's like, come on, like Pluto's getting ready to move go, and here comes Saturn. Saturn's starting to, even though Saturn's an old man with a cane, like let's get this motherfucker going. Like, it's like fucking like, even the old man's like, my favorite joke from Pablo Francisco is when he goes, old people love to have sex too. And it's like, give him a Viagra. It's like, what about your kidneys, Grandpa? He's like, I want to fuck. And it's like, he's just going there anyway. That's how Saturn is right now to Pluto, enticing. Pluto's enticing, right? Like, it's attractive. It's also just kind of, it's like almost, manipulation, seduction. Like, there's a lot of this Saturn, like, oh, okay, like, I'll fucking get there. And so, you got to realize that with this transit that's up here, it's like, are you gonna fucking block yourself from greatness right now? Are you going to block yourself? You going to cock block yourself? Because you're afraid? Because of some little shit? Or that you're so obsessed with it being more like the past? Like, think about the government shit right now. Everybody's saying, whether it's Brexit, whether it's American impeachment of Trump, everybody's saying, I just want it to go back to normal, how things were in the past. Really? They're going to go through all this shit and realize whether they get rid of him or not, or whatever, nothing's going to fucking change. It's still going to be crazy. There's still going to be shit popping up. There's a new paradigm. It's a new world. It's a new energy. It's new. There is no going backwards anymore. There's no backwards. I'm sorry to say, it's like the universe already gave you an opportunity to go backwards and experience whatever you wanted to experience backwards and give it a last chance last year this time. And this full moon is saying it's done. Done. You already have gotten all the chances in the world to go back and try something. There is no more chances. It's only about moving forward. Jupiter's in the galactic center now. Are you going to make the ultimate wish of your life about something that you already have had before? Really? That'd be like calling up the genie from Aladdin and being like, okay, you used your first wish on a jewel, fucking, quick hit, let's say, okay? And then I'm like, all right, genie, I'm ready for my second wish. What is it? It's another jewel! Like, oh my God, everybody's doing this in the background. Like, no, David, no! No! You already have a jewel! That's a wish wasted. I'm going to use the best analogy I can use for this full moon of Taurus for you to all Sharpie on your fucking arms. Or get it tattooed. This full moon is either a wish wasted or the best wish ever that came true. If you want to go waste wishes, be my guest. Now I'm getting way too fucking Disney all the time lately. I've been channeling a lot of Walt lately. Walt Disney came to me today, fucking, and then I said, "Be my guest," because be my guest, be my guest. So now we're jumping movies. Yeah, wishes do always come true, are always coming true, but there's something to say that there are bigger wishes than other wishes. There is always something bigger. And there are always times in life. What was the wish you had in 2007 moving into 2008 this time? My wish was to be back on television because I was on 2 reality shows on MTV in 2005 and 6. In 2007, as I was exiting Jupiter and Sag, I had a wish for going back into television and to do astrology and be a DJ. I literally wished it. I remember wishing to be a DJ so hard because all I was a promoter and a club goer and a raver who fucked around with DJ equipment in my bedroom. That was all I did. But I never had the guts to like play a show. I didn't really know how to DJ that great. I was self-taught. I was like train wrecking. But I remember believing so deeply in the wishes of being a DJ, being an astrologer that could actually make money. And I remember my girlfriend at the time laughed at me. Laughed, like, yeah, right. But she was encouraging in a way. But still laughed. It is 11/11, Miss 11. And is it 11/11? It's 1/11. And on the full moon is 11/11. That's the other thing. There's a very unique thing about this. That this 11/11 portal shit actually is true for this 11/11. I am somebody who does not believe in all the shit you hear about Lionsgate and usually at 11/11 I'm always like, whatever, there's no astrology going on, that's cool. This is just shitty astrology, so why is this a gate? This is a motherfucking gate on 11/11. On this 11/11, it's Jupiter at a fucking galactic center. I mean, that alone is a portal to the galactic center. To your galactic understanding of your galactic wish. With a full moon in Taurus, Taurus deals with The beauty of life, not the Scorpio side. The fucking beauty. But what's beautiful is there is the depth of truth, and when you can mix black and white together, you get black and white pillows. You get black and white pillows. Yes, you get this, like, oh, here, we're switching this around. You can have both mixed in. It would look stupid if I only had this. I would look like and this is very masculine and feminine, right? Like, how it works. Life. I want to get back to this dream thing. I literally dreamed at that time to have it. 12 years later, to the fucking month. I'm a celebrity astrologer. Like, I can't, you know what I mean? Like, I have literally DJ'd hundreds of gigs. I've opened up for, like, I don't know. I don't even know. I think when I started counting the flyers, it was like 50 top 100 DJs in the last 12 years that were on the top, 100 DJ list. Like, I do spiritual dance music for the last 10 years. I have tracks out on Beatport and iTunes, and I don't know, it's like, what the fuck? Like, I would have never believed it. It all came true. It all came true. All came true. What was my other wish? It was astrologer, it was DJ. And I think I also just had, being back on television. And then I got on the biggest reality show. There's only very little reality shows that are actually like, full blown with hosts and multiple episodes on ABC, right? Bachelor, Bachelorette, Bachelor Paradise, and True Beauty. I was so lucky to be able to be on one of the biggest reality shows on network television in that 12-year cycle. That reality show has built my whole entire fucking career as far as a celebrity astrologer and given me the validity to be a celebrity astrologer, because there has never been an astrologer that has been a reality star, ever. Go find me on. There is another guy, actually, and he did like some home show thing. I'm talking about like a full-blown like network television, ABC, like red carpets, fucking tabloids about you. Like I was, a lot of people don't know that about me. I kind of keep that secret because I've tried to like distance myself from that guy. But somebody else will put, that was another thing. I remember dreaming of, I've always jet skied. Like, I always wanted to be a jet ski racer. And that dream came true. And then I won the championship for pro this year in Region 1 for the whole West Coast in my class. And that's like one of the toughest classes in all of all jet skiing. For runabout, it's like pro runabout. That's fucking like top shit. And I barely won. I squeaked through, but I won. So if you're going to fucking waste this moment and actually believe that the past is where you want to live, and that's the wish that you want to have, go right ahead. Somebody wrote humble. I mean, we're talking about dreams. I think humble is like being thankful for, and I'm grateful for the dreams. That's humble. But still revel in your successes. Still revel in your dreams coming true, because I think being humble is about being grateful for your dreams coming true. And if you're, we lost Instagrammers. We lost Instagrammers. But they all come true. They come true. They do come true. They do come true. And it was weird because I was having a cigarette down here on the docks, and Walt Disney came up, and I was like, Actually, I was having a talk with Abby tonight, my partner in High Vibe, about just like positions in life. And I'm a CEO, and CEO is a salesman of a company, right? Like that's what I do best. Like operating a company, I mean, I do it, I know how to do it, but that's not my forte. I'd rather have somebody else like doing the operations and all that kind of stuff, so I can just focus on execution and sales, and getting the best of everything, and then selling the network and finding talent and helping the talent and selling things. So it's like, but like with Walt Disney too, it's like he had a vision, he believed in it, and it fucking came true, and it went. I mean, and even his dreams came true after his death. That's where you gotta dream big, like really big, not be afraid of it. You know what I mean? So, and for the fact that Venus is with Jupiter, and the fact this is a full moon in Taurus, and that is a Venus ruled energy, Oh, this is Leo. Leo, come here. Say hi. What are you doing? What are you doing? And then I have another cat, Pixie. She's a Pisces. Pixie! Beep! Beep! Come on. What? What are you doing? So, yeah, Leo's been with me since 2013 when Saturn went into Scorpio. I was during my Saturn return. And he is born with Saturn and Scorpio, and he's a Leo. So him and I are both born during a very same time portal and karma portal. And and he was a rescue cat. And at the rescue, they were like, "Oh, you don't want him." I'm like, "Why?" They're like, "He's an alpha male." I'm like, "Perfect. I'm very alpha too." And they're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Yeah, I want an alpha male. I want a cat where if I call a cat, he's gonna show up. Like Leo's not afraid. Like my cats don't run under beds. Like you know what I mean. They're not fucking little scaredy cats. Like he just you know what I mean. Like he's gonna come say hi to you all. What are you gonna come say hi? December you're gonna come say hi. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? He's like, "Fuck you, Dad. You're embarrassing me. What do you do? You're getting fat, Leo." He's got Jupiter and Cancer. You have Jupiter in Cancer and Mars in Cancer. Yeah. You like to eat, don't you? You like to eat. You like to eat. You like to eat. It feels good. Yes, it does. You like to eat. I make sure that he's fucking got all of the fucking. He's so spoiled. He's so spoiled. He doesn't even realize it. Fucking. I saved him from this fucking ghetto ass fucking rescue place, and then I brought him to Hollywood, and he grew up as a baby in Hollywood, and he got to hang out with all some hot Hollywood bitches. Remember that, Leo? And then fucking we moved back to Orange County, and then we the business was doing great. Leo King took off, and we had the studios, and we had great places down there in Orange County. And then now he lives here in Marina Del Rey, and I got him a girlfriend 3 years ago, Pixie, hot little girl. She's only 3 years old, and she's tiny, and he loves her, and they're like boyfriend and girlfriend. And he just gets to sit outside and look at the fucking ocean all day while I work. I work my butt off so you can have that ocean view. So you can just sit there and look at the boats. Come here. And eat your food? Huh. It's super easy. I know. But he's grateful. He knows. You know what I mean? I do it all for you. I do it all for you. I do it all to give you all enough. And to make sure that you're spoiled. Because you're a prince. Princes get spoiled. Kings don't get spoiled. Princes get spoiled. So, yeah, but you know what? Without him, during all that crazy time of Scorpio, Saturn, and all that shit, he was there through my side, through all my panic attack days and panic disorder, through my anxiety disorder that turned into panic disorder. He was there through every panic attack. He laid in bed with me through my agoraphobia. He was always right there, and he's a very loving, always like fun cat. Always his tail's always going. Like, come here, Leo. Come on, baby, come on. What? But he gets serious when he knows I'm going through serious shit, and he is right there, like a little guard kitty. Like, what's going on, Dad? And then he went through hell too. After like 8 months after getting him in Saturn and Scorpio in 2014, he was on my bed, and he was only like a year and a half old at that time, not even, maybe a year and a couple months. He was on my bed, like on the side, like breathing. And I'm like, Leo, and he's a very, like awake cat. His eyes are always like mine. Like him and I have the same eyes, like, right, Leo? Show me your eyes, come on. Right, Leo? Look at those eyes. Leo! He's got those same eyes like I do. And his eyes were low. And he's very regal. He's very regal. He even sits regal. He sits like a true Leo. He licks me. He kisses me. Give me kisses. And look at his tail. Leo. 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 Yeah. Leo. Oh, there's Pixie. Pixie! Come on. Come on, Pixie. Come on. The Pisces always come whenever the fuck they want, Like Leo's, he'll come right away. I'll call Leo and be like, yo, get over here, bro. Come on, Pixie. If you guys want to see her, yeah, so there's Pixie. Pixie! Pixie! Look she's so Pisces. What the hell's going on? Pixie! Pixie! Oh. Damn Pisces cats. She will come when she'll come when I lay down to sleep right away, and she'll come and like lay with me and just cuddle me all night. But she's kind of on her own schedule. But anyway, so that's my full moon Taurus talk. I really don't know what else to really say. I mean, we're doing spiritual dance music on Monday. We do have tickets available to come live for our 11/11 live spiritual dance music in the studio. We're going to have people there. But you got to email craig@theleoking.com and state who you are. Maybe put your Instagram or your Facebook or some sort of handle so we know who you are, because we are screening people to make sure people are really who they are, because we do have some people out there that do not like me, like that literally have threatened me in life, for real. So if you happen to be in the LA area or you want to come to the studios and be part of the 11/11 full moon ceremony, it needs to be like $20 or something like that. And I'm going to do spiritual dance music live, and everybody can hang out, and yeah, we're gonna have like a little full moon party on Monday. So, and then you can send us a picture of who you are. Like, we're just screening to make sure we know who the hell's coming, So, because it's a private event, so. Yeah, it's gonna be online. We always live stream spiritual dance music, and we'll do it on YouTube. But of course, YouTube always tries to find a way to take it down if I play a track somebody doesn't want to monetize or whatever. I'll be on the road again just this year, just building high vibe, and actually we've built the studios. We built it for people to come to us. I've been going to everybody for so long. If you haven't seen me on tour yet, I've already come through all of Middle America. I've come through the Northwest. I've come to New York. I've come all the way down to the South. I've come to Texas. I've come through to Colorado, the Middle America. I've come through Arizona. I've literally hit, very close to Corona Mark. I'm on holiday right now. My Saturday's off. I have done the Oregon coast. Just a lot of people didn't know. It's in Huntington Beach. But I live in Marina Del Rey, so. But the thing to me is I live a holiday every day by the job that I do. These are all my dreams. So, like it's my Saturday night. Most people are like, I gotta go out and do something. And I'm just like, well, I'll go live and tell people what's cracking. You know? Like, I could just waste my life and just watch TV all day, but I don't. Or, you know, I've been traveling a lot though. I've been to Vegas twice in the last month. I went to Halloween parties 2 weeks ago. Like, you know, like this is the first time I've been able to just chill at my house in weeks, in a month. So, yeah, I thought it was important because, you know, a lot of people are putting up their full moon shit right now. And you know what? I just listen to a lot of full moon horoscopes and I'm like, none of these people are putting together that last year's new moon was a full moon that was built from a Libra new moon. So it was not a true full moon in Scorpio. That Uranus had gone back into Aries during the new moon in Scorpio, which this year we had a new moon in Scorpio oppose Uranus. We have full moon with Uranus. So both the new and the full moons in Scorpio Taurus do have Uranus. Don't have a Venus retrograde, do have Jupiter sextile Mars, which has not happened in 24 years, as I've shown you. And I haven't even looked at 1995 to see if that did happen. Because in my head, you know, Mars retrograde in 84, in Scorpio, and then in 82, it was Libra. So, you know, I'm trying to do it in my head as if it, you know, 95. I'd have to do it. Trying to do that math in my head if there was an actual sextile. But I'm really, you know, if you go to my Instagram, I put a post up about how Jupiter's leaving my 4th house and my whole views about whole sign houses and how I don't use whole sign. There's no point to use whole sign unless you can just do it in your head. Like if you run a chart as whole sign, right? Like what's the fucking point? Like do it in your head. Just give me an ephemeris and tell me what your rising is, and I can do all that in my head. I can do all the calculations in my head. Like there's no point. If people are running whole sign houses, like why do you run them? Why? What's the point of doing a natal chart if you just need to know the rising? No point. 0 point. That means I'm gonna call it out. You're a shitty astrologer if you run whole sign houses, because that means you can't do it in your head. You suck. You suck. You're not an astrologer. You don't know it yet. You don't know how to do it in your head. You could give me an ephemeris. I could just look up that date and be like, okay, and throw away the ephemeris and know the rising and know the whole entire what's happening, because then you're just doing basically rising sign astrology horoscopes and knowing where the planets are. There's no point for whole sign houses. 0 point to run a chart. Why would you even run it? Why? There's no point. No point for a whole sign chart. 0 point. Because if you can't do it in your head, like whole sign, no, Christopher Tecchi does equal. And equal I believe in. I use equal on a lot of clients because if they're placidus, if they have interceptions, I teach them their interception. And then I go, okay, this is your intercepted houses. This is your issue. This must do. Because if you have interceptions in your chart, that means that you have a fucked up situation with those two signs. That access point of those two signs, you're fucked up. You haven't figured that shit out. And that's gonna be where the issues are in your life. Then I'll move it to whole sign to give those planets, give the planets in your chart an actual house that are ruled by that house. So if, like, let's say you have Aries and Libra in interception, that means your Mars, well, actually Aries Libra interception is not too bad, and neither is Taurus Scorpio, because you can kind of they have dual rulerships. But when you get into Leo or Cancer with Capricorn or Aquarian interceptions, there's no dual rulership for the sun or the moon. No way. And those ones are very difficult. Those ones are very hard. So if I have a client with Leo and Aquarius or Cancer and Capricorn intercepted, that's fucking a serious one because you're dealing with luminary interceptions. So then you run the chart as equal. So when you go with equal, you know it is. Where can I find you in LA? I mean, I keep my resident. I mean, I live in Marina Del Rey, but I can't tell you my address. But you could always contact if you want to. I don't know what you want to know how to find me. You can go to my website and contact Craig, and I don't know. No, I understand. I want to bring the whole stalker point thing up. Like, I understand people want to hang out and talk with me. I have no problem. Just go through the proper process. Like, write an email to my webpage, or hit me up on my Instagram, or hit me up through Facebook, and tell me what's the situation. Like, why do you want to meet up? Do you want to collab? Do you want to, like, what is it? Like, what's the reason? If it's for very personal, like, creepy reasons, I'm not gonna respond. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty fucking cool though. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't want people to think like it's like you can't ever like meet me in person. I'm a normal person. Like, I'm not like some high up, like I'm higher than everyone else. Like, fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not like that. But I'm cool. So just hit me up on my socials, or hit me up on my email, and give me a reason what it is. Like, everything's on my website, theleoking.com. Click on contact. Super down to earth. So, I think we have reached the end, but for those that stayed on, looks like 551 of y'all stayed on here, so we'll pull some cards just for this full moon, even though on oh yeah, and if you go to my Instagram post, I go deep into why whole sign. It's great, but it's also not that great, and it also adjusts your chart in the wrong direction, and it doesn't let you know if certain planets on the horizon or below the horizon or not, which to me is the whole reason how astrology is built. If you're going to try and move my sun from being rising to below the horizon, I'm sorry to say. How much light was the sun emitting, or how dark was the sun emitting? How bright was the moon, or how not bright was the moon? Where was the moon? Like, all these things. Was Mars up at the top of the chart? Like me, I got the moon at the top of the chart. So yeah, sure, whole sign, I'll put it up there, but it'll put it more cocked over instead of we're in the higher position than it was. Mine's on the midheaven. My moon is on my midheaven. You know what I mean? And in Placidus, it actually takes in the north and south understandings to the east and west locations of where north and south and the cross sections of those are to understand Placidus. That's why you see some people's fucking midheavens just kinked all the way over or kinked all the way to the other side. Because depending on where you're at on Earth, north and south parallel, and the fucking east and west horizon lines, it shifts based off the curvature of where you're at. And especially, like, I mean, imagine somebody born in Alaska, okay, during the middle of summer, and they were born at like 6 p.m. They're not going to have the sun on the descendant. The sun will probably be way up high in the 8th house, could even be 9th house at 6 p.m. in Placidus, because of the fact that the sun's so high up still. The sun doesn't set till like 11 p.m. or sometimes 1 in the morning. So somebody could have a sun in the 7th house at like 11 p.m. at night because the sun's not setting till then from that position. So in whole sign, it like totally discredits that, looks at where the rising is and just throws the sun wherever the fuck it's gonna go. It just throws energies around. Like, no, let's just fucking move all the fucking planets out of their positions of actual in the sky, not degrees, actual positions in the sky. That's why I like equal. I don't mind equal, but I do like Placidus. I want to see the actual foundation of the science of what the fuck is going on in someone's chart. I want to see the science of it. I want to see it. And if astrology wants to be this great, place for, I guess you could say, giving validity to it, how are you not going to fucking use Placidus? How are you not going to look at fucking the mathematical positioning of your chart? And equal is a 360-degree zodiac belt and Earth, so I have no problem with equal. But there's something about Placidus that adds that extra math, and it gives you interceptions, and people with interceptions fucking have issues they have to deal with this life. And as an astrologer, I'm here to help them get through their fucking issues. And I can't help somebody get through their issues without seeing their Placidus chart. Period. And any astrologer out there that's saying they're going to deny interceptions and understanding interceptions is not doing you a good service fully. I'm going to just call them out right now because they are not smart enough to understand how an interception works, or they don't know how to fucking interpret it correctly and look at where the house system is, if the nodes are in there or the luminaries in there, and that there are planets that are lacking an actual house. If you have a interception in Virgo and Pisces, guess what? Neptune is homeless. Neptune is homeless. So when it gets hit, when Neptune transits happen in your life, it feels so Neptunian and there's no home for it to go. There's no understanding of the house that it rules. If it's the sixth house, we know it's going to be about schedules and health and a lot of things that have to do with, how do you really maintain your reality correctly in order and find some sort of rhythm. But with people when the interception of Neptune, with Pisces being an interception in Virgo, and their Neptune is in a weird space, or their Neptune is being aspected, there's no way for it to know. Of course, equal will help us find the house. So this is where, some people are lost. Like, we're talking about house systems and understanding how to calculate your astrology. Interceptions are where if you look at your natal chart, if you use Placidus and even Porphyry, or even, you're going to find interceptions sometimes. Some people, especially people born really higher of the equator and lower of the equator. There are planets that can be homeless. Some people have homeless planets in their chart. And I help them find where their homeless planets are. Like, this planet's homeless. That's why you have issues with this shit. You have issues in this zone. And if you have an interception in your chart, it's a must-do life that you have to fix that energy. You have to fix it. If you have an interception, you suck at those two signs bad. And look at what the planets are, those signs, and what houses they're in. You suck horribly, because that means that you're going to have two houses that are going to be the same sign. So if you have, let's say, and it depends on the math. So if, let's say you have Taurus and Scorpio. I know a lot of Taurus, Scorpio interception people. They'll have two Gemini houses and two Sag houses. So they're like way too much in Gemini and Sag world and not enough Scorpio and fucking Taurus and manifesting. They're all in their heads and they're all in the beliefs, and then they get lost in all that and they don't know how to physically manifest it right, and they lose it, and they you know what I mean? Or maybe they have two houses in fucking Aries and two houses in Libra. So it's about them and their partnerships, and they put way too much into there, and they don't know the values, and they don't know, and it'll all get fucked up. It all depends on the chart, though. Depends if the nodes are in that house and the luminaries are in the houses that are intercepted. And then that soul is a fucking must do. This is a really fucked up past life shit you gotta clear. And that's why I help people in readings. I go fucking all the way. I don't fuck around. There's so many fucked up astrologers out there that are calling themselves astrologers that don't know the science, don't know the math, don't understand it, don't understand how to interpret it. They're fucking reading shit. It's just bullshit. I'm fucking, damn astrologers. Hold on, Leo. Come on, Leo. What do you think about them? They suck. I know. They suck. They're fake ass. They're fake. They don't know their fucking astrology at all. They don't know it. They don't do the research. All right. Right now, it is 1 a.m. It's 1:07 a.m. All right. That judgment card we're going to throw in the middle here. And we'll do a little deck cut. I feel we need just one more. This is just a must know. What do you all need to know about this full moon right now in Taurus? 6 of Coins. Only put the energy where the energy makes sense. Because if you're giving away your energy right now and being a charity case to energies that are taking from you, and they're not going to give back any gratitude, or they don't see the gratitude in what you're giving them, it's not worth it. It's definitely a time for us all to give to each other and to give what we can to each other, whether it could be monetarily all the way to spiritually to emotionally. But if we're in balance with this space and ourself, and we're giving to an energy outside of ourself that is not in the same alignment, then not good. We got the Hermit reversed. We do have to not be afraid of, even though this is such an exciting time, we have to go, one, we have to not be afraid to go with our inner wisdom. And I think that also this is saying that because we did get the 6 of Coins, I feel that we can't hide from our truth anymore. We can't go hide in the woods and just stay there for so long. We do have to make decisions. They're difficult, but we have to go with our inner wisdom. And I feel like it will cause you too much to, if you're at a place where you have to contemplate things too much and keep going deep into like, let me contemplate this. Like, not going to be the best energy, Oh, thank you for the tip, beautiful Andrea. Our challenge is the Knight of Cups reversed. So yeah, we're afraid to move emotionally into new places. And I think we're running towards emotional places that are not bringing the true equal balance that we need. So, this is where the things that truly are the right give and take, that we have to let go of over analyzing everything, and we have to not be afraid to just take the steps into the feelings that we need to go through in our life. And we can't be afraid. We cannot hide. We have to step in. With the Death card reversed, we're afraid to end things in order to move in and to create new things. So don't be afraid to let things go. Don't be afraid to let things go and move into new directions right now that are way more in alignment with the true essence of the true nature of what give and take truly is, and putting yourself in a position where you can give the amount of energy and not feel bad about it, not feel like you're giving energy and you're not getting anything back. And our spiritual advice card is the Chariot card. We need to move into whole new directions. My favorite card. We need to go on a whole new quest. This is our quest. I've been saying it. It's our whole new quest to our whole new life. It's a beautiful new one. It's fucking awesome. Don't fuck it up. What I'm getting from this too is you have no allegiances to anything or anyone or anything until you have truly made your own decision of what you really want, and who fucking cares? Do your own thing. Go on the quest that you've always wanted in your life. Don't be afraid to emotionally do it. Don't feel like that you're some fucking old, wise man who fucking knows everything and that it has to be done a certain way. All that matters is you getting to a place of the life that you want to have, to where you can give the most. Don't be afraid to emotionally go there. Be honest, and don't be afraid to end something that you have to end, and don't be afraid to move into something that you know that you want to, and take that new quest towards the spiritual glory that you want to be. I'll pull one for relationships. We got the 8 of Coins. It's about people who really are on the same page with us of understanding how they build their life and their worlds, or they have the similar trade, the same skill sets as yourself, but they're on the same level. They know how to build the same amount that you do. They know all the same skill sets. It's like almost kind of like a twin energy, as far as like we kind of do the same shit. I'll pull another one for relationships. The Two of Wands reversed. So, you know, you might be in two different worlds right now, but find the common denominator of your skill sets and you can create the world that you really want to go and have in both your hands. So it might look like you're in two separate worlds right now, but there's something to say that it's the common understanding and skill sets that you have of how to create things in life that can bring your worlds together. Don't let the two worlds apart fuck you up. And the Fool reversed is the challenge for relationships right now. I feel that, you know, you need to learn to have fun and not, you know, feel like you're stupid for feeling the way that you're feeling. Like, that's one thing. Two, we got the Two of Cups reversed. So, you know, this is kind of crazy because it's like, it's almost like there's no way we can be together. There's no way. It's like, there's like this energy of like, there's no way the worlds can come together. There's no way that, you know, could we be soulmates or not? Like, am I stupid? But the skills are similar. So it's like focusing on that could bring the right worlds. And you're not stupid to see that. And maybe you guys are soulmates. But the soulmate thing could be an issue just because you're seeing it from, like, am I stupid to do this? Am I stupid to see that maybe our worlds are different when they're actually very similar? And then the spiritual advice is the Page of Coins. It's like, know and accept the gifts from the universe, the messages of the right life that you want from the universe, the physical attributes as well. They'll be totally, I'm not reading any sign, I'm reading just for all people right now. There's something to say with all these pentacles. It's like, look at the beauty, look at the stuff that you actually see that gives you a lot of this true understanding that you see it, that there's messages that you see it, and follow that, and follow the skills, and don't worry about the worlds, and don't worry about if you're a fool or not, and don't fucking freak yourself out over magic that could happen. So, all right, I love you all very much. It was fun to be with you live. I appreciate all the support. Check out highvibe.tv for my pre-2020 guide. It helps you. It's 2.5-hour video that helps you understand what's going on to build up. This is the last 3 weeks, folks, of a big portal opening in your life. This full moon will be one. Don't fucking waste it. Amazing shit's coming in your life if you're going to take that aspect to that road or not in your life. Don't waste it. Trust me on this one. Don't doubt yourself. Don't doubt what you see. Don't doubt what you feel. Don't doubt what is possible. Have beliefs in what is possible and they will come true. Believe. I love you all. Peace. How do I take this thing off? Let's see here. There we are.